Toxic masculinity.
Canada's gun confiscation set to start within the next few months.
Yes. Okay, this actually took me by surprise. Had you heard about this?
No.
Yeah, this is bizarre, right? So, hold on. Let me try to switch over to the thing. Canada gun confiscation in the coming months. The Great Northern Gun Grab, I can't do this with these headphones on, is about to begin. The United States' northern neighbor is bracing for a firearm confiscation. What would seem unthinkable just a couple of years ago is now planned to radically shift gun ownership on America's doorstep within just weeks. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau announced that sweeping new gun control laws would be coming, quote, in months. That would drastically change how firearms are controlled in Canada. The Liberal Party leader made the unilateral announcement that the government would confiscate more than 1,500 makes and models of firearm under an expanded assault weapon definition. This would be an estimated 150,000 to 200,000 firearms that people own in Canada would have to be confiscated. Okay, so here, let's scroll down to, what am I looking for? Oh, non-compliance, that's what I want to see. Canadians who do not participate in surrendering their firearms to the government will be forced to endure a rigorous set of rules and inspections to keep their firearms. So people could potentially keep their firearms so long as they abided by all of these very strict regulations. While they can and while they're alive, those who don't hand over their firearms could keep them under strict conditions not to use them, import them, further acquire more like that, I guess, or maybe ammunition, perhaps, sell or bequeath them. You couldn't give them to your kid or something like that. Those individuals would also be required to complete the Canadian restricted firearm safety course and upgrade their licenses to a, quote, restricted possession and acquisition license. Of course, this would incur all associated courses and license fees, along with registering any firearms with the firearms registrar, complying with enhanced storage requirements, and periodically providing information on firearms storage to ensure compliance. Basically, you know, they make it really, really hard to keep the guns, for you to keep the guns that they don't like, right? They want you to give them your guns, or else, you know, you have to jump through all these hoops to keep your guns. So this is why I like this story, because I would like to see in the coming months after this is passed, because they have, I think, 2 years to give their guns up, right? Between 2020 and 2022.
Do you think they're going to protest?
No.
I don't think so.
They may protest. That would be nice to see. But what I think is going to happen is I think there's going to be a lot of boating accidents. Have you seen these memes?
Yes.
So, throughout the internet, there is this common meme whenever people get a little bit nervous about gun confiscation by our government or whatever. They say, oh, gosh, you know, the other week I was out boating. Terrible boating accident. Just so happened, all my guns were on board. Gone. Bottom of the ocean. I'll never see them again. It's a shame.
Well, you can't say this thing in Texas.
Why? I don't understand what you're saying.
There's no ocean too close to...
Yeah, there is. It's on the Gulf of Mexico. Look at a map. Look it up. Geography was never her strong suit. Anyway, so, yeah, a lot of Canadians are, I suspect, going to get into tragic boating accidents in the near future.
Oh, that's right, darling. You're right. You're always right. I told you.
See, that's what you get for being sarcastic. Woman. All right, yeah, so this is very concerning, right, that the Canadians are going to have their guns confiscated. And I don't feel like that's going to be happening here in the United States, at least not in the near future. But it looks like they're trying to figure something out to push us in that direction. And with the Democrats controlling the executive branch the legislative branch, and soon the judiciary, because I think they're going to pack the courts, I think we're in trouble. I think they will try to figure something out where they're going to probably follow this Trudeau model. My guess is they'll probably take the Trudeau model and they'll say, oh, we think that this is valid because this other country did it, and look, they've set a good precedent, and we could follow that model, and it could happen safely, and but Americans who have the kind of guns that are going to be confiscated, we're not going to let them take the guns. What?
Michael says, give her a pass, she's not from here.
That's true. Well,
that's true. So
I would give her a pass, but she doesn't think there's an ocean touching Russia either. So,
well, Jen Psaki once said if Russia is gonna do a war with Belarus, it happened during Ukraine-Russia conflict, like many years ago. I think it was like, I don't know, more than 5 years ago. I wasn't even in US. She said, if Russia is going to do this, we're going to send our boats to our marines to Belarus. There's
our navy.
There's nothing. You can't Belarus have no access
to the ocean.
It's
landlocked.
Ocean. So if Jen Psaki said that, can I say that Texas doesn't have an ocean next to it?
Yes, you are perfectly allowed to mess up our geography a little bit. Jen Psaki, being in a position of power in the government, probably should know the geography about which she is speaking when she's talking about international politics. Valeria desperately wants me to do a video on Jen Psaki. I keep telling her to try to compile some videos and help me out. She has yet to do the work. So, it's on you, baby. She's not even looking at me.
Okay. I find any kind of hint that the United States is getting closer to more gun restrictions and taking guns and stuff from people, I find that very disconcerting, because I think that sets up a situation that's very volatile in the United States. That's concerning to me. And I feel like this Justin Trudeau thing, either he has been emboldened by the leftist government here in the United States, or he maybe have even had some kind of communication with Americans, and they said, yeah, go ahead and put that into place. That'll be an example for what we're going to do in the next few years. I wouldn't put it past them that that's what happened. But anyway, very disconcerting, very concerning. And if you look at the number of gun deaths that happen in Canada every year per capita, Venezuela's at like 50 per 100,000. It's like hell there, basically, which I think is similar to St. Louis. And then the United States has 12.21 deaths per 100,000 year, 100,000 people, and that's from guns. And then Canada has two per 100,000. So it's not one of the most serious concerns compared to a lot of other ways people die there in Canada. But, it's one of those things that the left likes to push. And I think it's a mistake. I think that Justin Trudeau should be voted out of office. I don't know how the Canadians aren't, infuriated and trying to get him out already. Hopefully he does get kicked out in the next election. I don't really follow Canadian politics. Maybe he's already used up all of his terms. I don't know. All right. Moving on. Next story. Okay. Amazon's pushes for increasing minimum wage in order to stifle competition.
Stifle?
Stifle.
Stifle, I believe is the word. Toxic Masculinity. Weekdays, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific.